and welcome back. It's Belinda here again, giving you another relaxation practice to help fill your time and hopefully create a bit more space within the body and the mind and the whole being. Today we're going to begin with just checking in. So first thing to do when we check in is to check in with how comfortable we are. Take some time to find comfort, whatever that may mean for you right here and now. A supported seat, a place where you can relax and release into that support, whether it's lying down in bed, on the floor, on a yoga mat, or in a comfy chair. Warmth and lack of distractions and interruptions. No mobile phones turned on or in the room. Other people in the house. Being given a little heads up that you need some quiet time, so to leave you alone and not interrupt. Once all of that's in place, moving on to a little bit of internal awareness. Now that you've made the surroundings conducive to relaxation, take the awareness inwards and see what's preventing you from really relaxing here. And these kind of things can be in different ways. So we're going to start with the body, noticing physically how you're feeling, how your body is resting and supported, whether there's any tension here, any holding and stress and strain against that support. Any sense of having to hold yourself. And we often find these habits of having to hold ourselves. They're something that is subconscious. We don't even realize we're putting them in place, but we spend so much of our time containing ourselves and trying to be within a certain space, that it can actually become a habit, and it needs a conscious effort to undo that holding. One of the best places to start this is in the shoulders. So bringing your awareness to your shoulders, consciously allow them to broaden, to relax, to be supported. Notice any tension in the shoulders, notice where it is. Just have a little bit of a explore of those shoulders, encouraging and inviting softness and relaxation and release as you go through every area, the fronts of the shoulders, backs of the shoulders, the tops of the shoulders, the shoulder blades nestled against the rib cage behind you. Take time to release the shoulders and let that sense of release travel up through the neck, getting a sense of length through the neck as it does so. Into the jaw, the eyes and the face, another place that we often habitually hold. Allow the mouth to soften, the teeth to slightly part. Get a sense of resting your jaw. Allow your eyelids to close softly over the eyes, not with any effort, like a blanket covering a sleeping baby. Just a nice cover to keep things calm and safe and warm and snug. Beneath that cover, allow your eyes to soften and rest also. Not just the eyes, but the area around them, the forehead, the brow, the cheekbones. Let the whole head, face, neck, skull relax and release into the support beneath you. And then take that awareness back down through the shoulders, along the length of the arms, to the wrists and the hands, fingers, thumbs. Think of all the holding we do with our hands. Think of all of the picking up and grabbing and holding that they do over the course of your day. And give them them permission for here and now to do the opposite, to let go. Open palms, relaxed fingers and thumbs, a sense of ease through the hands, through the wrists. Allow them to rest and leave the arms and the hands and the shoulders and the neck and the face in that place of rest as we continue our journey down through the chest and the upper back, through the belly and the lower back, having a sense of this torso, this space where our breath comes to and from, softening and relaxing and releasing. Each wave of breath creating a spaciousness on the inhalation and a softness on the exhalation. Each breath giving further opportunity for letting go. Think of the spine becoming longer as every inhalation creates space between those vertebrae. And think of the whole torso settling further into the support as every exhalation helps create a sense of release, of letting go. The ribs softening, the belly softening. The waves of breath flowing freely in and out, creating a nice rhythmic, soothing pattern of breath. Space and softness. Moving down further now into the pelvis. Feel the sacrum at the back of the pelvis broad, relaxed, supported. Become aware of the hips, the buttocks, of the muscular area within the pelvis. Finding a sense of ease and softness, releasing and letting go. Taking the awareness down through the thighs, through the knees, through the calves and the shins, into the ankles, the feet, all the way to the toes. Think about how much work your legs do every day, carrying you around. And just as we did with the hands earlier, give them permission for this next little while to not have to work, to be able to release and soften and let go, to have a sense of ease through the hips all the way down to the toes, all of the joints becoming spacious, all of the muscles becoming soft as they let go of holding. Surrendering into the support beneath you. Now we've taken time to relax the body, moving that same practice into your heart and mind. Becoming aware of the thoughts in the mind and the emotions in the heart, and often these two are quite closely connected. So we're working with them together today to try and really ensure that we can create as much space and ease as possible through this area. Very often we have a thought and it makes us feel an emotion. There's a direct relation between what we think and how we feel. And it can work the other way too. We can feel a certain way and it can make us think a certain way. If we're feeling fearful, then we might start to think about all the things that we could be afraid of. So notice those connections between the thoughts and the emotions. Notice what thoughts and emotions are present, and maybe it'll be easy for you to connect them with each other and recognize those connections, or maybe it will be a little more cryptic and not quite as simple as all that. It doesn't matter, there's no right, wrong, good, bad here, it's just what it is. Just a matter of tuning in and finding out what's there rather than seeking to fix or change or judge anything at all. And always working with kindness and compassion towards yourself. That's physically when we're working with the body and recognizing those habits of holding and tension, and also emotionally and mentally with the mind and the heart when we're trying to find ways to release through these areas, to recognize that there might be suffering there, that there might be tough stuff going on, and be kind to ourselves in recognizing our responses to different situations, and that there isn't a wrong way to feel, there isn't a wrong way to think. Maybe if we reflect on it, we'll find a healthier way of thinking and feeling, but that doesn't mean that the way we feel or think right now isn't right. So be kind as you come across whatever emotions, whatever situations, whatever thoughts are present for you. Recognize them, release them. Create space around them so that you can get a bigger perspective, a better perspective, rather than having one thought or one emotion clouding your judgment, taking up all of the space. Think of stepping back from them. And just this work that we've done so far in tuning into what's present here and now, even just that in itself is enough often to give us a sense of release and relaxation, to give us a bit of space. But we can take it a little further by, once we've checked in with what there is, moving towards going beyond that and separating ourselves from it just for a little while so that we can really rest deeply without being affected by all of those things that are present. So in order to do that, simply think of creating a little cocoon around yourself. You might want to imagine wrapping yourself in a warm, snug blanket. Depending on where you are and what the temperature is, it might be a nice, light, silky covering like a sarong, or it might be something really warm and cozy and snug. And think of just creating a little haven for yourself beyond all of those thoughts, all of those feelings, all of those physical sensations. Spending some time here, just resting deeply from having to experience and deal with all of that stuff. When we take ourselves beyond those things, then we are able to move towards a place of rest, really deep rest. Rest that's unaffected by the physical or mental or emotional play in our lives. We're going to spend just a minute or two here in this place. And don't be disconcerted if distractions arise, if there's thoughts that pop up, or maybe you experience some discomfort, need to adjust your position a little. Just recognize those things for what they are, do what you need to do to release them, and then think of coming back into your little cocoon, coming back into this safe space. Once you're there, just resting with what is. You might find that other things do arise. When you move beyond what's present, you might find things that were hiding deeper down, behind or beyond. those concerns, those sensations, those emotions. What we're seeking here is the place that we have with us all the time, a really deep place. And I like to use the word center, even though it isn't necessarily the center of anything. So there's not a physical location of it or a mental location of it. It's more just a sense of being. Being very centered means being aware of who we are beyond all of the everyday stuff, who we are deep down, who we are when we aren't being affected by our surroundings. And in our center we find a lot of resources, a lot of strength, a lot of courage, a lot of space, a lot of kindness. We're able to connect to the deepest part of ourselves on a really primal level. And resting in this place is the most restorative thing that I've found on my journey. Being able to connect with this deep, deep, intuitive sense of self helps me get in touch with inner wisdom, older, ancient wisdom. As you rest here, just be open to whatever your experience is. It'll be different to mine, it'll be different to everyone else's. Just take time with no expectations. Be open to what arises, to what happens. And maybe you stay here for a little longer. I'm going to wind things up now, but feel free if you have the time and opportunity to remain here and bring yourself back when you feel ready. When it is time to come back, do so slowly. Just gradually feel your way back into your body, noticing again any physical sensations of warmth, of support. Tuning in again to what's present mentally and emotionally, and being open to the possibility that this may have changed or it may not have throughout the course of our practice. Become aware of your breath, and to bring yourself back, take a couple of really big deep inhalations all the way down to the deepest part of your lungs, feeling that big diaphragm muscle at the base of the ribs moving down into the abdominal cavity. Use these big breaths to energize yourself, to bring new energy into your being, and feel that new energy flowing through the physical body, flowing through the mind, flowing through the heart, flowing through the whole of you. Big, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. After a few of those, let yourself stay resting in stillness for a little bit longer, and then gradually and slowly start to explore some physical movements. Starting off small, little wriggle, little yawn, little stretch, gradually increasing until eventually you find yourself feeling ready to get on with whatever your day holds ahead. Thank you very much for listening today, and I hope that you found some peace. Namaste.